Welcome back, and we're following again Jan Nepomniachtchi against Shakhriyar Mamedyarov.
Okay, it's not like this that we will follow only Jan's games, but I think we could not miss this game between two top seeds, and Shakhriyar is also a very serious contender for the first prize.
He was world rapid champion, Blitz. Rapid champion, I guess.
Shakhriyar was world rapid champion. Okay, but he is very good in Blitz either. And okay, in the last world championship, okay, Jan was second and Shakhriyar was fifth. Even he was not very happy with his play. Okay.
Really key game to follow, because such players are playing it, and on the board we have quite interesting position. The white has a bit damaged structure on the queen side, but
this typical Petrov setup. Yeah, white just preferred to exchange knights on c3. His structure is a bit compromised, but other pieces are active. He has some development lead. Black's knight on c6 sometimes is misplayed in these structures. So I think that, well, let's say, white has some comfortable plus. Maybe not big one. It's Petrov. Petrov is extremely solid, but it's much more pleasant to play with white. And Jan already has 1 extra minute. Well,
c4 was quite predictable, I guess. White doesn't want to have this pawn on c3 for a big while, and after dc4, bishop c4, black has a check, and the diagonal seems very nice for white. But after bishop e6, white can either change or go back.
Bishop e6 probably is not a nice resource, underestimated by Jan.
There is no d5. After knight a5, black attacks the bishop on c4, and it doesn't mean that white gains the...
Yeah, I think d5, even bishop f7 is playable, because okay, this is a pin. Exchanging on e6 is also not very much, because then black has perfect blockade. So I think probably Jan was too in hurry to play this c4. Maybe he probably would find some right moment to do it. Now
I like knight a5 very much. Now white really has to decide either to change the bishops or to keep it, and if keeping, where to go.
Yeah, theoretically I think that, okay, Shakhriyar solved his opening problems. Well, not probably a bit early to think about something more, but he feels confident. Okay, in his case it's somehow easy to give the position assessment.
Jan is also thinking, and the time is more or less equal right now, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Shakhriyar decided not to change the bishops, but it costed him, Jan. It costed him a pawn.
Jan avoided bishop exchange, but a pawn is a pawn. I think now queen f7 and
queen h5,
even more active
move.
Preventing knight h4. Yeah, I think that a pawn is a pawn after all. Maybe white has some compensation, but not so clear. No, Jan is tricky. Jan will always find something.
Knight e4, maybe after knight d2 can be an option.
Knight e4 is in the areas, but anyway, not so easy to create real threats. Knight e4 is met with, well, and
bishop b8 or bishop c7, both are possible, or
yes.
You would like to go on other diagonal?
On other diagonal than knight g3 and knight f5, although yes, knight g3
bishop
and
f8
knight
was
f5.
played, and knight g3.
But still not so easy to create real threats.
A little activity for white, as the knight on f5 seems to be a bit annoying.
Yes, but after knight f5, I think that bishop c4 finally is insisting to to exchange these white squared bishops and then creating perfect blockade in the center. So Jan understands this and
Bishop f4,
does not like it.
offering the trading of rooks, and
But still bishop
Jan took,
bishop
rook
c4.
e1.
Right? But bishop
and bishop c4. As many pieces is off the board, as big the advantage of black will be, because he has a pawn.
yes, this
Queen e6 is pinning the bishop on e4, so queen d1 is quite logical. And g6 not to have any tactical tricks on h7.
yes, and also covering this very important f5 square. So okay, Jan tries
To weaken the king side a bit for black. But now the knight from a5 to c4 will be very active, and also the pawn on a7 has a free pass.
yes, pawn on a7 may be this one little detail which decides the game, but still it's blitz, and there are some weaknesses on black's king side. So, well, if it were classical game, I would say, okay, let's switch to something else because black is just winning. But in blitz, you never know.
You never know.
Yes,
There is time trouble, and you have to be quite fast. We have 1 minute, more or less the same time, 1 minute and 30 seconds. There is increment of 2 seconds, but as we already said, it's not too much to rely on.
Yeah, that's true. Jan is looking for chances. Jan is looking for chances. This,
H5 creates a little bit problems for black, because now it's hanging.
not
really.
not really, but still, I think that now, okay, he got rid of annoying white knight, but now white has bishop's pair, and somehow,
But the queen is controlled very well. I mean, the d1 queen cannot jump to somewhere where it can attack black's king. Maybe
yeah,
king f2, queen h1 is
king f2, queen h1, yes.
the idea.
Jan just thinks in this direction.
Bishop e4, as we already said, it's good to change the pieces. Queen h1 is on the board, so to start some unpleasant checks on h file.
Yes, it's not so easy after all. Not so easy. King g8.
Controlling the h7 and h8 square, but queen h6 is also
Queen
there,
h6
right?
and queen f5 check, I think.
And
Protecting
Everything is
protecting
protected.
everything, yes.
queen e1 still
Jan is very tricky. Knight d6 will
pinning
be
the
met
bishop.
with bishop f4, and everything suddenly is far from clear. Okay.
About bishop d6.
Bishop d3
Maybe
then.
bishop d3 and queen e6, king e6, and we are attacking the d6 bishop as well. So it doesn't mean that white
But
wins a piece.
in this case, I think that opposite colored bishop ending will be drawn. Well,
I like the move g5 because now the bishop is controlling the h7 square, and though after bishop d6 we have to take on d3 not to lose the piece.
yes, bishop d3 is what he's going to do.
28 seconds.
But then there can be some kind of perpetual, I
C
guess.
takes and queen h7. Now a bit unpleasant checks are on the way, but
Yeah.
I think that king can escape from
Looks
the checks.
looks like king is able to escape, and looks like, well, first of all, Shakhriyar is not in danger of losing anymore.
Right.
In any case, he will just torture his opponent in this queen endgame with extra pawn. I think it must be objectively won for black, but of course it's necessary.
Now black starts to give several checks. Also, it's good to gain time in Blitz because we know there is additional 2 seconds. And b5, there is
Yeah.
a passer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Giving checks is quite a good technique. But okay, what about
Queen d4 check
queen
again.
d4 check? Well, another pawn gives this check because
Queen e2, queen e5, it's a problem for
yeah,
white.
now it looks like
Very
easy,
lost.
easy technical win for black. Although okay, Jan Nepomniachtchi is very tricky.
It's Blitz and you can never be sure till there is no results until the game is over. But black's position is so nice that I think Shakhriyar won't miss his chance to win this game.
Looks like this. Well, he played very well in the opening phase, and then I think at one moment Jan just somehow overestimated his position, or well, something went clearly wrong for him.
The pawns are very great to cover the king from checks, so I think king is going to go on somewhere where he's safe.
Yes,
On queen side to cover under black pawns.
yeah, the dream position is yes to bring king on a3. Yeah, if queen
And
well resigned, yes.
resigned